Hey guys, Prowl 1701 here, and today we're going to be reviewing The Rescue from Season 2 of Doctor Who, which of course is the introduction story for Vicky. The first time we've added a new companion after, of course, an unearthly child. Now, this was voted on by my patrons and my YouTube members. This was a classic Doctor Who poll I did, and The Rescue won. And I'm excited to be talking about it again. I did, of course, do a nice rewatch of it. I love The Rescue. It's a nice little two-parter. It's a lot of fun. It's a great introduction to Vicky. I really like Vicky a lot. I feel like Maureen does a really good job playing her. I like how she pulls off that young, naive teenager character really well. And I love how she bonds with Hartnell in this. I love the bond work between Vicky and the First Doctor. Hartnell is so good in this story at playing that kind of loving grandfather figure, that kind old man. And just the little mannerisms, like when he back when he knows Vicky's upset at Barbara because Barbara accidentally kills her little dog-like character. And he just kind of, tells them to get out just with emotion. And then when he starts talking to Vicky, he does that, that, come here, come sit down. He does that little, and it doesn't come across as arrogant or condescending. It's that very kindly, grandfatherly, come here, child. And the whole conversation and the way he talks with her, it's just so well done. I love the bonding between the Doctor. This is what we should have had with the Doctor and Susan. I always feel like Vicky is just a way better version of Susan in a way. Just what Susan should have been. And that's not Carol Ann Ford's fault. It's just the way Susan was written. I feel like Vicky was written much better, especially in this first story. I like the set designs. Not a lot of sets, really. I mean, the interior of the crashed rocket is nice. I really love the interior room at the end when the Doctor confronts Conquillian. When he's like, I've been waiting for you. That little interior sanctum set is really nice. I really enjoyed that. And then you have, what's the guy's name? Bennett? I don't think it's Bennett. I'm going to call him Bennett. But the other crash survivor, the one that's injured, he's not really in it much. He does kind of strike me as a two-dimensional character. But the actor's fine. I love what they do with Conquillian, though. Because Conquillian, like so much of classic Doctor Who, does look like, it's a alien creature. Look, it looks like an alien creature, but it's obviously a guy in a suit. That's so much classic Doctor Who, let's be honest. It's obviously a guy in a suit, even though it's supposed to be a monster. So, I love the twist they do with that. I love how they play on that. It's perfect. It's so perfect. And I love when the Doctor confronts Conquillian at the end. Come in! Yes, I've been wanting to talk to you. That whole bit when they're fighting each other is great. And how I just love the fact the Doctor is never afraid. The First Doctor feels like the Doctor because he is always confident. He never is panicked. He's never overly worried to the sense to where he's letting him control. He never feels on the back foot. Unlike, say, another certain Doctor I could name, but I'm not going to do that because I'm kind, so we're going to leave her out of this. Who always feels like she's on the back foot. The First Doctor never feels on the back foot. He feels in control of the situation. That whole time when he's convincing Vicky and she's like, no, we need to just wait on the rescue ship. Conquillian will hurt him. The Doctor's like, no, just let me talk to Bennett. I won't do anything to hurt you. I'm only here to help you. So I'll talk to Bennett. The whole time, the First Doctor, he seems concerned at places, but he never feels like he's out of control of the situation. Like the situation is out of his control. He's always, you can see the gears turning in here as he's working things out. And I love how he goes and confronts Conquillian at the end by himself. He doesn't need any help. He's down there. I've been looking forward to you. We know the First Doctor is very good at engaging in some fisticuffs when he has to, like in the Romans. I enjoy that. And then seeing that there are still a couple members from that planet surviving. Now, the bit when Conquillian falls down into the pit is a little fake because you can see the actor checking where the pit is. So that bit when he's so scared he's walking away from the two people on the planet that are still alive, the two native people, and when he walks through the door, he still checks behind him and then falls off. It's a little nitpicky thing, but it's there. But I still like the fact that, at least in universe, he's supposed to have been so afraid he just stepped off into the pit and fell. And I love everyone wanting Vicky to come with them. I like that, again, going back to the first Doctor with Vicky, I was like, come on, why don't you come with us, child? We can go anywhere in time and space. And how when he goes in, he's talking to Ian and Barbara's like, I see we've all come to the same conclusion. Let's ask the child. I really like Hartnell's first Doctor. He really does go into, you know, it's really only his first early stories where he's a little more on the grumpy, harder side. He softens up rather quickly. And especially by this point, there's just so much warmth to him. It's like he can be, he runs a gambit of, I don't know if emotions is the right word in the story, but he's stern and forceful when he has to be, like when he's confronting Conquillian at the end there, and he's tough, and you get that even though he's an old man, you do not want to screw with this Doctor. He'll fight. But also he's caring and compassionate when dealing with Vicky, which I really like. I feel like Hartnell puts in such a strong performance here. I do enjoy the conversation, too, between Ian, Barbara, and Vicky. He was like, so you'll be 550 years old? And now Barbara's like, yes, I guess so. And Ian's just laughing. I love how Ian's just laughing it up about that. And Barbara's like, I hadn't really thought of it like that. that was pretty amusing, I will admit. That was a nice little exchange between them. And Vicky's grief when her little pet creature gets killed because she's been alone here for a while, except for Brandon or whatever his name is. And so she kind of had to make friends where she could, so she had trained the animal to come, because that was really the only friends she had. So I understand why she's upset about losing him. I mean, I've had animals myself. It hurts to lose animals. So I get her grief there and why she's angry at Barbara. But I like how the Doctor, again, that scene when he talks her through it. It's like, well, you wouldn't do that. Well, I could tell just by looking at you, you know, you have a face of someone who looks. And Barbara does. She has a face of someone who. So I like how he just uses logic to get through to her. I enjoy that. It's really nice as a two-part. It's interesting because at the end of part one, I feel like, wow, you know, they could have made a four-parter out of this, and I still think it would have worked. So much happens in part two. A lot happens in part two. It's still a great two-parter. But, you know, I had forgotten just how much of the story takes place in part two. It uses its runtime really well. I really find this a good watch. The Rescue, I feel like The Rescue doesn't get talked about enough. You just don't hear people mention it. And again, the twist with Conquillian, I guess I shouldn't say it here because it's spoilers. But I love what they do with that character, with the outfit. That is perfect. Such a good story. Plus, I actually like the Conquillian design. And I like the fact that Doctor's been on this planet before, so he starts figuring out what's going on, well, fairly quickly to a degree. And I think the sets look good. So I want to know what you think of The Rescue. Comment down below and let's talk about it. I do want to give a shout out to my patrons for voting on this one. I have been wanting to rewatch and review The Rescue again. If you would like to join my Patreon to get access to, well, early access to videos, exclusive videos on Sundays at different tier levels, and to vote in polls for stories I'll review. Certain tier levels also get video requests, some of which I need to start working on. Check my Patreon out. There's a link to that down in the description below. I also have a P.O. box if there's anything you'd like to send me to look at and review. I love getting fan mail. A link to my Amazon wishlist is down there. A link to my Amazon UK wishlist is down there as well. I do want to give a shout out to some of my top tier patrons, Finn Perkins, Paul Gibbons, Sam Venning, Unknown289, and Colin Coney. I appreciate their support, as I do the support of all of my patrons and my YouTube members. Most importantly, thank you for watching.